done verbally, so I was
No,
not
it's
very.
fine. Fine using the microphone.
Yeah, this is great. So, what's happening for me is a new thing.
Yep.
I'm using the computer, I'm doing radar, and it will time out, and then I have to reboot it from scratch. I mean, it's like leaves the screen, it closes, and this is a new thing. It wasn't happening until fairly recently. Do
Hmm.
you know what I'm talking about, or do I need to explain further?
Um, do you know what version you're using? It says top
The
of the screen.
latest, whatever, I'm up to date.
Yep. Okay. And you're using a software license or a
Yeah,
free?
I have a fob or whatever you call it that I use.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a software, not a USB. And
No, no, it's a USB
it's a
key.
USB stick. Right. Okay. That's probably the problem. Sometimes are you using Mac or Windows?
Windows.
Windows. Try a different USB port. And if your Windows doesn't have like the old style USB, what are you doing to convert the old style USB to the new USB-C? Is it a powered hub?
Oh, I'm using the old style USB. That's my key is whatever is that USB B, I think. No,
Yeah.
or whatever the
USB
original one is that
USB-A, I think it is. Yeah.
A, yeah.
So
That's what I use.
so have you got a USB-C hub that's powered that you're plugging
No,
that into? How are you getting it into the computer then?
I have it just plugs into a USB extension,
Extension.
USA, excuse me,
Yeah.
USA extension. And I could move it straight into, so it goes straight into the computer. I could try that.
Yeah, yeah. Probably if you're getting dropouts and you're using a USB key, probably is that it's losing power and then you're getting, an error.
Well, I think it might be associated with the computer going to sleep. Like it would come back, I'll come back from lunch
Yeah, okay,
and
yeah.
it would be gone.
Mm,
Even if I had a a case I was working on right at that time or something.
mm,
So,
yeah.
okay, so I should try playing around with the key.
Try that and change your sleep settings if that's causing a
Yeah,
problem.
I already did that.
Yeah.
I turned everything so it doesn't shut off.
Yeah. Okay, so it shouldn't go to sleep then.
Yeah, it
Is it
shouldn't, but
saying even when it's
it still
idle?
puts up my, I don't know why, but it still puts up my screensaver thing.
Right, right, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, try that. Try changing the port and try and stop the computer from PCs are
Yeah,
not very good
okay,
at
I'll give that a shot.
they're not very good at going to sleep. Macs love going to sleep and they're sort of designed for it, but my experience of Windows is that they don't work very well after they've woken up from sleep and
Okay, thank you.
you just need to shut them down rather than sleep them. Yeah, yeah. That's all right. I hope it resolves itself. Okay. Wendy, you're muted. Are you asking a question?
Try that again. It says it's not here.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Um, so I've got the RadarOpus that I bought originally from you, and I'm struggling to merge remedies together. Is that because I need a bigger need to pay more money?
Merge rubrics together.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. I think that function is should be in all of the engines. Unless, I mean, you don't have a like the smallest engine possible, I'm sure, because I don't generally sell that one. So,
Um, I honestly don't know, and I'm also don't ha that I don't I'm not able to use more than one clipboard. Is that something extra?
oh, it might be that you've only got the mini version then, but that seems a bit surprising to me. I can check real quick. That might explain it. V3.24. Upgrade mini to silver. No, so you should be able to have three clipboards. If you right click the clipboard, go down to the bottom of the menu, you'll see more clipboards as an option,
All right.
and you can add two more if you've only
Ah,
got one. And
cool.
for grouping and combining, so you would drag one symptom in and then drag another one in. So you want to combine them.
Mm-hmm.
So you just do Control A to select them all. Or if you've got lots in there and you want to just grab two of them, you click one, hold down Control, and click the other. Unless you use a Mac, in which case you hold down Command.
Yeah,
And
no, no.
then you right click again, and then you choose this group or combine.
Fine. Thank you.
And then you can either create a new one and rename it, or
Okay.
that's called combining, or you can group them by just assigning a letter, and that keeps them there and just puts the little letter next to them, and then they count as one symptom essentially.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Right.
the
Thank you.
process. It sounds like you need to learn to right click on everything
Yeah,
when,
because I need to right click things.
yeah, there we
Thank you.
go. That's sort of that is lesson one in RadarOpus. Move around and right click on things. And you'll see all of the menu, all of the operations you can do. So if I right click on a remedy here, it'll show me everything I can do relating to opening that remedy, highlighting it, hiding it, looking at the families, or searching. So I often will, if a remedy's come up in my repertorization, I'll often search in all the references or all the repertories to start investigating how well it really fits the case. Because as I'm sure you know, even if something repertorizes well, it still needs to fit the case
Hmm.
at a deep level, which we can only really tell from materia medica. Unless there's no materia medica for the remedy, and then there's a different process. But,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's okay. Thanks for your question. Who would like to go next? Yeah, you can use your microphone. You can put your camera on and say hi. Don't worry, don't be shy. Um, and also make the most of this time. Time is precious. So let's go. Otherwise, I'm just going to carry on working on my cases because I've got lots to do, as I'm sure you will do too.
Hi,
Hi.
I have a question very specific for the Turkish wording.
Okay.
If we write Turkish names of the body parts in small letters,
Yeah.
we got the different rubrics, and if it is in the big letters, then you got another
Mm,
rubrics. But in English, you can use both small or big letters,
mm,
doesn't make any difference. But in Turkish, we got this problem.
mm. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's not something I can really help with, but I'm sorry, that sounds annoying. So, are there times where you do need to use capital letters? Does it change the meaning of the word, or is it just that sometimes you do it by accident and then you get a different result than you were expecting?
No, not by accident. It is always same thing. Because, for example, in the radar words, for example, I is written in a different style. If you written in big letters, you get different one. If you use in stomach, you can see very easily.
Okay.
If you search stomach from the
Stomach.
searching point, for example, for Akon,
Aconite.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
In Turkish, when you write this, you get different things.
Okay.
Mm, most of my friends doesn't know the English, and my English is not very good.
No.
Therefore, we are getting very difficulties to adapting ourselves to the program.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that someone, to be able to troubleshoot that, you need a Turkish keyboard, which I don't have. And it's good that we know about it. I can see some of the programmers are here. So they now know about it too. And I guess I saw Gamza was here as well. Maybe she's gone now.
I'm here.
Oh, she's there. So
Yeah.
do you know if there's a workaround or a solution or something?
They're working on it, and Marco told me that we're going to make a conference with the programmers also. It's not only about the keyboard, I think, but we're working on it. We're aware, and I'm telling this many times in our company. I hope it will be sorted out as soon as possible.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Another question.
Okay. Yeah.
If you search the only remedies
Yeah.
from the advanced searching,
Yeah.
if you put two remedies or more than two,
Yeah.
there is probabilities above of that icon remedies control alt. You are getting three opportunities. The
Yeah.
symptoms, yes, which have the third one is not working. Only giving the only one remedy solutions.
Okay. So it should create three tabs like this. The first one is the shared symptoms. The second one is aconite and no belladonna. And the third one is belladonna with no aconite. So is that what you mean? Is that the operation you
I
mean?
would like to see two of them together
You would want to
because
see the
same
symptoms.
symptoms and the more specific symptoms or differentiating symptoms, because otherwise you are getting from one to other, go back, go back. It's very time consuming.
You don't like the layout of these results. You think it takes too long.
I want to see uh, differentiating symptoms and the similar symptoms at the same board, on the same board.
On the same board.
Yeah, I thought that it is very useful for me. Otherwise, you are going back, forward, and selecting symptoms. It's really very difficult.
Okay. All right. Well, in order to do what you're saying, you need to specify where you want to look because you see here you've got 3,600 symptoms and here 8,000 and here 4,000. So you can't just put all of those into one clipboard. It would take, ages to do it and then the program would, stop working because it would be so slow. So let's say you wanted to, I don't know, limit that down to the cough symptoms.
Yes, for such kind of search, I am using this, not all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, you could just about do it with this. So you do Control A and then you drag them into a clipboard. So those are all the similar symptoms. Then I always right click and sort by the ascending order. Okay, so that's you can then see at a glance what's there. So for me, that feels okay. It's fast, no problem. Then you could go to the next tab, Control A, drag into the next clipboard. And then you'd have them all in clipboards rather than in search windows. Is that sort of better, more what you're after?
Okay, I'm doing this way now.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
good. All right, no problem. It's yeah, I'm sure you'll learn a lot by doing it. There's Belladonna. You can even do this, which is nice. Right click, sort by you can't do it, but you could. Let's order. So you could do rubric size, ascending. So you can see all of the small rubrics first. Might be helpful.
No, I don't have that one. Maybe due to our student version.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll clear that. Just remember that when you have hundreds of symptoms in clipboards, it is going to tax the computer more.
Yes, yes, I'm generally crashing always, and
Yeah,
it gets slower.
the more, yeah, and the more, yeah, it's always good to give it a restart every once in a while. Okay.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Veronique.
This is Veronique. Hello, how are you?
Fine.
It just came to me just because I just used it and thought it was two different results. According to how you spell a word, as in anemia, for example,
Right.
if you spell it A with an A followed by an E,
Yeah.
A-N-A-E, you get 4,700 and something results. On the other hand, if you spell it the simpler way, A-N-E-M-I-A,
Yep.
you only have 1,700 results. So I'm just wondering, how is it possible to sort of make it so that you have the same result, that they both come, both type of searches, or how is that possible to?
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
should.
mean, I'm aware that it has two spellings in English, so I look at
Yeah.
both, but
Yeah.
you know, you could miss out if you just search for anemia A and E, you're missing
Yeah.
3,000
It's
results,
like
3,000 results.
it's like hemorrhage as well.
Yes, all these words.
Hemorrhoids and edema.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. There's quite a few words. So is there a solution to that?
They should be linked here. And this tool is not finished yet, annoyingly. But this tool will help us to update the dictionary so these problems don't exist. Because if you spell it one way, it will search for the other way as well.
Right. And can we add ourselves then a synonym or
Yeah, that's the idea with this tool, but the tool itself, the programming has been funded by someone in Germany, and they have to give the final say on when the tool is like ready and meeting their requirements, which
okay, so it will happen.
which hasn't happened yet.
All right.
Yeah.
So for now, just do the two searches. Just do
I'm just gonna see if you can do where's it supposed to be? Yeah.
yeah,
You might find other things, but that works. Look. It finds anosmia as well. So it might find some spurious things. But then you could say exclamation mark anosmia, and then it would cut out anosmia, whatever that is.
Yes.
Yeah, so that would be my workaround.
How many results are you getting? 7,200
1,200.
as against. Oh, you get, well, you obviously have more documents than I have. I have 4,258 hits
Yeah,
with the full AEMIA writing. So
that's with the two asterisks there, which are like wild cards. So they're
yes,
really less.
yes. Oh, so not just one asterisk, but two.
I think, yeah, you see it's found Anthelmia of Spigelia there. See? So some of the reason why I'm getting more results is that I'm getting spurious
Oh,
results.
yes.
But if
Uh,
you just search in the repertories, it wouldn't be a problem. I don't think. And mostly they're going to be anemia. So,
yeah.
oh, there you go. And there's the Spigelia. So you have to see what the words are. And then if you put the exclamation mark before the word, it blocks that word.
Yes. As a second word, yeah, to block any other results. Okay, that's great. And then while I'm sort of speaking to you, just a very
Yeah,
quick
go for it.
next question is, it's just I was wondering why wariness
Mm.
is in the general section as opposed to the mind section.
Weariness. Because that's different to, so when you're weary, you're tired. When you're wary, you're suspicious.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, but I mean wariness spelled W-A, yeah, this wariness that you have here.
Yeah, that means
That
tired in English.
yes, it means tired. So why is it in the mind in the general section? It means tired, but it's a mental tiredness, isn't it?
Weariness.
Weariness is more of a, I would have thought, but
Yeah, it's there in the mind section too, isn't it? Weary of life.
yeah, no, but not weariness.
No,
Where
I'm
is it?
guessing we'd need to ask James Tyler Kent why he did it. Because, you know,
Okay, so that's following.
yeah,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the moment there, we've
That's all right. As
made,
long as it's just, it was just a question. I mean,
yeah, no,
we know where it is, so we can find it
yeah,
there.
it's a good question. Um,
So
Weariness,
that's all.
Kent's repertory.
Yeah,
It may be maybe the meaning has subtly shifted over time, and it
maybe.
is time that it was a sort of global. I mean, but then he put stomach desires and aversions for foods, didn't he? Where when they're not of the
That,
well.
that's right. Yes, you're
Maybe
absolutely.
maybe there should be a new chapter called microbiome, and we should put the desires and
Yeah.
aversions in there.
And and there is the concept that even fatigue could be an emotion. Fatigue, I mean,
Exactly. I think
yeah,
the whole structure of the repertory needs to be
yeah, yeah,
um, revolutionized, actually,
yeah, yeah.
and made more visual because you've got people coming into homeopathy now and they look at it and they're like, this is not very good. Do you know what I mean? We're used to it and we can work with it, but you're constantly having to find workarounds.
Yeah,
And a lot of the diseases people have and the problems that they have now are just not, they're just not in our books because things
yeah,
have shifted, things have changed, issues have changed. So, yeah.
it's true. But then when you love words like I do, it's actually
Yeah.
part part of the excitement
Mm.
of
I
and
know that. Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm,
thank you. Anyway, thanks for your help there.
that's all right. I tend to agree, but I also teach a lot of people, and I see their struggles.
Yes,
And
yes,
I don't want homeopathy to be something that's,
yes. And
a dusty old shelf. I want it
no, no,
to be
no,
embraced by young people and used by,
yeah, you're absolutely right.
yeah,
You are absolutely right. Yeah, yeah. And you are adding new. I mean, the RadarOpus is updating all the time on new terms and
yeah,
just that.
yeah. I think the next step, as I say, is to reorganize the layout and to make the entry point into the repertory like some kind of representation of the body so that you can see visually where things go.
Yeah, that'd be great, like yeah, an actual drawing or an image. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be good.
That would be good.
Let's see. Might take 7 years. Most good things take 7 years, I think.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm happy to chat along, or we can have more questions. It's a very quiet Q&A today.
Yeah.
Lots of people just they don't want to know anything.
Mm.
Okay, then I have another question, not question, a request,
Yep.
maybe kindly request.
Okay.
When we're searching some English words, you can get easily all synonyms and roots, but in Turkish, you have to write all of them by one.
Mm. Yeah, so we need a dictionary tool to add the
Yes,
branches.
mm,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I mean the future of the software is in a web-based application in an online version, which is going to come with like translation tools. So and it's going to mean that all the changes will happen in real time. So if you work on adding, Turkish words to a dictionary in the online platform, everyone will be able to see those changes straight away because it's on a server that everyone's accessing the software. So that is currently in production, and I know the translation tools are a high priority. Marco's not here today, which would have been good. He could have spoken about that. Maybe Carlo, who's here, could give us an update. Yeah, but yeah, that should make it easier. Um, and also, we do have this dictionary tool that, as far as I can see, works well, and it would enable you to do that. And if you had a group of people working on it, you can then share the work that you've done. So you can export all the changes you made to the dictionary. So if we do, so when you right click on a word, it opens the dictionary. And at the moment, this is how the new tool will look. You could add a synonym here. So add, and then add a word like I did earlier. And you can even put antonyms or a translation in here. Look. So this would allow you to probably do what you need to do, I think. And then you can export it, and then somebody else can import it. Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, I know it's difficult and different for when English isn't your first language. Um, there's more work to do there. Unfortunately, I only speak one language, so I'm blissfully ignorant about all of that. Sorry.
Oh, so so we can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if no one else has anything, I was just wondering whether maybe you could run through the add families and the different, add remedies and add families, different, so the between the personal repertory
Oh yeah.
and just adding them to actual RadarOpus, which we can do as well. I mean, why would one do one and not the other? I'm not sure what it adds really if you're going to use.
If you're going to make your own repertory,
Yeah,
yeah.
unless you're not sure, maybe you're not sure, you don't want to. But other than that,
Yeah, I guess it's whether you want to do something that is just a bit different, or like something that represents yeah, there's not that needs a structure that's not in synthesis really. So if you wanted to create like a small clinical, almost just like hints,
Yeah.
therapeutics type thing that doesn't need to go in the full repertory. That's one way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I've got some here where I've made like an alphabetical structure and started adding words that aren't part of the normal repertory lexicon. Like aggression is not a word that's used. It's a synonym that might go to violent or fight wants to, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yes, that's one way of using it, of actually using words that,
yeah, you could make it like a keyword finder. It doesn't have to be a repertory, basically. It can be anything you want. It's a way of adding a word and linking a remedy or a
yeah,
family to a word. So in that sense, it can do anything you want.
yeah. As in, for instance, another thing that could be done, probably I've thought about it, but haven't sort of got time to get around it. But Sankaran superclasses
Yeah,
could, could easily,
yeah,
I suppose, be
yeah,
added. Could
exactly.
they?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So if I wanted to, so this is sketchbook, and if I want to add a new chapter on superclasses, I'll put it here. So I'll go to additions, add a symptom level below. And if you do it at the same level, you're creating a new chapter. If you do it as a sub rubric, it will go in underneath
yeah,
sketchbook. So I'll do that and call it superclasses. Checked and okay, or you can just press enter twice. Gives you an opportunity to correct spelling error. So
and then you would have as sub rubrics the different superclasses. One.
yeah, so then I'd go as a sub rubric and I'd do it. Yeah, or I might just do numbers so that it doesn't
Yeah,
take up lots of space.
yeah,
One, then I go back to that screen and I need to go back to being at the same level now. Two,
yeah.
and then again, three, four, five, six. And then
And then
you would be able to add remedies directly to those. So,
yeah, or families.
or families. Yeah. So if you did column one plants, you can, yeah, we can set you up with your own reference if you contact us, if you're working on your own repertory. But I think it does come with, when you make your own repertory, it comes by default with a code for you. So
I
you
think
can use
so because
that.
I have, I think,
Yeah.
done some of that. Yeah.
And then I've got column one plants. And if I hover, then it will show me all of those as well.
Um,
So it makes much more sense to do that than to add them all individually.
so to add column one, you just typed it in the addition.
Yeah, yeah, we've added loads of families, so there's a lot. I mean, I added a few more today, like Cabanello's crystal structures, because I wanted to
Right.
put those in the repertory too. Yeah, so if you go to additions, add a remedy.
Yeah.
Um, is it fish that are column one?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you could use Sankaran
Yeah.
as various. I don't think we have specifically super classes in here, but you could call it clinical confirmation of, for example.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, you can kind of just decide on the degrees how you want to do it. Um, and then underneath you could add particular, the different keywords that he adds there. You could either
Yes.
add them as rubrics underneath, or you could create a symptom note. So go to, oops, it's not right. Additions, add a symptom note,
All right.
and then you could add all of the keywords there. But that would mean that they wouldn't come up in a search when they're in a note.
Yeah. And so what was the first option that you briefly
You could
mentioned?
create a rubric underneath. So I haven't as a sub rubric. I haven't got his superclasses book actually. So I've seen it and I'm aware of it, but I don't know off the
Yeah.
top of my head what the key
Column one, for instance, confusion.
confusion. Oh, it's Magnolia Day, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, just adding it as a sub, as a,
Yeah, it could just be a keyword as a sub rubric.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, I know that that's part of the Magnolia Day or
Yeah.
Magnoliana family, so I could then add that particular family. Like that. So yeah, that would be a good thing to do in there.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sort of it appears incredibly complicated, but in fact, when you get the hang of it,
Yeah, it's typical. The amount of functionality is really, really good, and
yeah,
it's built so that we could update synthesis essentially. So
yeah,
it's maybe a bit, it looks kind of overkill. I get that. But what I did is just learn the shortcuts. So for me, it's really easy because I remember the keyboard shortcuts. So it's Control F10 to make a new symptom, Control F8 to add a remedy. Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Control F12 to add a cross reference. Um, yeah,
Yes, I'm afraid my memory doesn't stretch to remembering.
right. It's whenever you click the menu, you'll see them here.
Yeah, yes,
And
yeah,
like when
yeah.
you add a new symptom, you can see there's also shortcuts to change the level. So Alt A and Alt S will allow you to change between, you know, a sub rubric or at the same level.
Okay.
Bewildered is a word that's used with that group. And he has Superclass 2 has the hippie, doesn't it? I do have the thing actually. The map. Anyway. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it is the monk for Superclass 1. Meditation. Buddha. Yeah, it wouldn't take long to turn that into a repertory,
Yeah,
your
okay.
personal repertory.
Yeah, yeah,
And a great use for it really. And even if you have like solved cases where there were like symptoms or keywords and you just want to add it into your own, sketchbook rather than into the main repertory, that would be a good use for it too.
but with the search, you access your
Yeah.
own repertoire as this. Yeah, as
Yeah, so if I search bewildered now, you can see my repertory comes up. It's there. It's not showing for some reason, the actual symptom, but it's shown that it's found it. So there is a little bug there, but I think that's a new bug. Wasn't there when I first started doing this. Or maybe you just need to do a restart for it to work properly. No, it's yeah. So yeah, room for improvement there. But that's I feel like the six superclasses relate strongly to the six lines of the I Ching.
right.
I think they're very similar archetypes, and they're both about evolution. So the first line of the hexagram is the foundation. you know, the
Uh-huh.
start point, which is, you know, when we're looking at the evolution of plants, that's exactly the same as subclass 1. And, you know, you've got for superclass 2, it's all about, you know, opening or shutting, being in the house or coming out, isn't it?
That's right.
That's why the hermit fits. So closed and open, opening or closed, and the hippie stays in the house smoking weed because it's got the cannabis
Yeah.
indica in that group. Line 3 is the martyr, someone who goes out and uses trial and error to build experience. And those column 3 plants are the ones that go to the desert and to experience the most harsh environment possible for a plant where there's no water. So there's that sense of adventure, and we're gonna try something difficult here and learn from it. And the line 4, the opportunist, is all about you know, gaining their opportunities from being in a group, from networking. And in subclass 4 of the plants, you've got all the agricultural crops really that, you know, grow together and
Yeah,
feed
it's a
big tribes and communities, you know.
of going out into the world from the fourth column, isn't it? The first three are sort of more inwards, and then they
Yeah.
start going out into the world like
Yeah.
four.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's yeah. No, I didn't know. Didn't know this correspondence with the I Ching.
Yeah, it's something I've been pondering for a while,
Yeah. Mm.
but it ties in with I don't know if you've heard about human design, which is a very interesting system that's based on the I Ching, but
Right.
using astrology and the Kabbalistic tree of life, and yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay.
There's a book in there somewhere.
Yeah, Mihol Yakir also looks at this sort of thing, you know.
She does, doesn't she? Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Day one of creation, day two of creation, day three of creation.
Yeah.
And of course, Sankara took a lot of her ideas, you know, the six column, the
Yeah.
super classes that she she's incredible. I mean, I'm sure you know her book, so that's
Yeah, exactly. It's very steeped in the mythology and the
yeah,
archetype.
yeah. But the classification she's done of the plants is just mind blowing. I think, you know,
Yeah.
and all the correspondences, it's great, and it's all in RadarOpus, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that repertory is great. I use it all the time. So yeah, I'll put in just column 1 into the search box, and that's the only repertory that has column 1 like this. And it includes the ancient plants too, so the mosses,
They're there already. Yeah.
a column 1 as well. And then you can just do Control Enter and it will make a column 1 rubric, which encompasses a lot of you know, what's going to be in superclass 1.
Okay, sorry, go do that again. What did you do there?
So I just search for column 1, and
Yeah,
then you press
it comes
Control
up.
Enter or Command Enter on Mac,
Yeah.
and then that automatically combines everything, so the ancient plants and the flowering plants, and puts them into one rubric. And then you can search for whatever, you know, keyword symptoms you're doing, and use that as your, you know, your
Yes,
limiting.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't do command enter, if you don't remember to do command enter, what is there another?
Right click,
Oh, of course. Yeah.
the classic, the Windows way, right click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
And take the 4th option down,
yeah.
and just the all the shortcuts are listed there
Take
as
a rubric and create a combined rubric. Yeah. Brilliant.
yeah. Sometimes when I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to make the rubric eliminative, I just click it and then type 9. So you're giving it an intensity of 9, and then it pretty much functions like a limiting rubric. But it allows you to sort of play around a bit more. So if I were to then add some, I don't know, like like a confusion of identity idea. So I've now got all my repertories there, and I could, if I'm in a hurry, just use synthesis. But if I do view all documents in one list, I can then pull in things from Yakir as well. And it actually relates to all of the row 6 plants, which are the adolescent age, which could be interesting too. So then just do the same thing, control enter. You can clean that text up. Confusion of identity. It's so it's kind of brought out all of the ranunculaceae which are part of that row.
Hmm. And camphor and all the
Yeah.
plants in that
Yeah.
column.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we can spend a long a lifetime learning about
Yeah.
all the things that you can do with radar. But honestly, it's a ongoing process, as one is
That's
saying.
right. But you can really, when you work this way, you can really just sort of, I don't know, let's say we've got kidney inflammation. You can then just put in everything from every repertory to do with kidney inflammation. And then you've got your physical to help narrow everything down.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And you're being very complete in the search.
Yes.
And then you've got down to like, 16 remedies.
Yeah.
The confusion, this subclass 1, and the kidneys.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's great.
Yeah. Column 5, same thing. I'll do column 5 plants. We're looking at smaller group. They're less confused about their identity, you see? Stronger,
Yes.
bigger ego.
More ego.
Yeah. Yeah. Not Psycuta so much. Psycuta is an interesting remedy, isn't it? It's got one of my favorite rubrics, that one.
Which is what?
You know the one? It's to do with the follies of mankind.
Oh, no, I don't know the rubric.
I'll find it. Shuns the foolishness of mankind.
Oh, very good.
Yes. Shuns the foolishness of men.
Men.
But humankind, it became in the maybe from Alan,
Okay.
shuns people. It's one of those ones like the sulfur racks his brains about metaphysical subtleties. I like that one as well. You could make yourself a little collection of your favorite
Yes,
weird rubrics, couldn't you?
that
And put them on your wall.
is a great rubric that I didn't know.
Well, Ignis Alcoholis has one of my favorites as well. That she was lifted in the air, looking down on a cesspool of ignorance and vulgarity. They're quite similar, aren't they?
Yeah. Is that ignis alcohol? Is that alcohol? Or what is
It's approving by Nuala icing where she set fire to alcohol and then let the alcohol burn down and then did approving of the alcohol that had been set alight.
Oh,
So it's fire and alcohol.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's It's an interesting remedy. It's I did prescribe it once for someone who was having a breakdown.
Right.
Yeah, it has a lot of strong delusions that are similar to what's that remedy? The one in the Euphorbiaceae, the
Manzanella, you mean?
Manzanella. Well done. Thanks, Vladimir. Exactly. So we could look, see what the similar ones are. See the devils and being possessed by evil forces.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because fire is usually holy, and if you burn it all away, maybe you get some sort of evil or devil elements there.
I mean, then definitely the fires of hell. I mean, this is what you get in hell is fire.
Hellfire. Yeah. Yeah, it's both, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is the seed of both.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can ask, probably it's a very naive question. How
Yeah.
are you doing the shorter, when you are searching for something and you have asterisks there, the small star, how are you doing it? The shortening of the word.
Yeah, you just say if you do want to do sleeplessness, you go up to the L and you can see the full word here, and then you just with your keyboard put the asterisk in. And that is sort of like the same as in complete dynamics, it kind of assumes that you want to do that, so you don't have to put the asterisk. In RadarOpus, it sort of assumes that you're going to write the full word, but you bypass it with the asterisk.
And it will take into consideration only sleeplessness or also everything which has a root sleeple.
It would have like any possible word ending that goes after the L.
So it takes also other possibilities of
Yeah, it
ending.
does. Yeah, so you have to sort of watch out that you don't put too few characters that you then end up with the things that are not what you're looking for. You can put it at the front of a word as well, which can be useful. So if you put it on the front of itis, you'll find any itis, which I know isn't helpful in synthesis because we use inflammation, but in Boeric's repertory, he's got all the itis. Yeah.
It's very good. I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So it does add a dimension, giving you that possibility to, you can put it anywhere in a word. You can put it in the middle of a word as well. So if you wanted to search for blood or bleed, you could do like this.
Thank you.
Then of course you do start finding things that are not what you want to look for. And I was showing Veronique earlier, if you find words that you don't want to be there, you put an exclamation mark in front of that word, and then it will make sure it removes that word. So the exclamation point says not that word, which I'm pretty sure is an option in Complete Dynamics too, but it's just a different operator. Yeah.